wake up in the morning and just say, I'm done. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I don't know about you guys, but I guess I'm just a damn wreck because I'm falling apart. Just called McKinley County, New Mexico courthouse, and I'm going to file a civil case because I know there is no precedent. Is that the word? For the criminal case against Ray Hartwig, my mom's husband, not my legal stepdad, but beating me with a 3-foot stick when I was 9 years old, semi-sexually molesting me, abusing my mom, my brother Fred, who I don't even know is still alive. Taking pictures of my nephew as a little baby, and then he took pictures of him naked and then made copies of it and put it on the refrigerator. Gave one to my brother. You know, he just acts like this. Ray Hartwig, he acts like this, like a kid that is going through puberty or something. Dirty bastard, old man, you know. But anyway, you know, I mean, who gives a fuck, right? I'm nobody. But I don't know who else out there, you know, kind of just feels like just keep hoping, excuse me, keep hoping that things will turn out be better, you know. Maybe this will work. Maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll bring happiness. I know other people feel this way, you know, where you feel like I'm 43 and I feel like I'm burnt out. Me to take me home. But I feel like I've done it. I mean, I'm blessed, you know, financially, I guess, you know. But it's always the little things in life that matter. You don't notice them till they're gone, right? But I had a couple, I mean, pretty much every fake friend, you know, including my brother um, and my little sister, you know, they were just, when my dad was on his deathbed, rotting away from terminal prostate cancer, no one gave a fuck about me. You know, I've given my little brother thousands of dollars and his lazy wife, you know, she won't even breastfeed my nephews. And hey, I'm not being a pervert, but she's fully capable, okay? but she just sits around on her phone. She doesn't have a driver's license. She just sits at home, and it's so much work taking care of the kids, you know, and she's already spoiled them with giving them all this processed food. He used to like fruit, my little nephew. Then Ray Hartwig, you know, the bastard principal who all I need is 5 minutes in court. That's all I need. It's a principal. I'm going to tell him how much pain, what he's done to me and the rest of my family. He can deal with that. You know, he's in the master path. Sri Gary Olson master path, that stupid cult I broke out of. They tell you, you know, the master, you know, he's with God and he will take 90% of your karma right off the bat and dissolve it. Well, I got fucking news for you. And even your stupid cult teacher contradicts himself. Sri Gary Olson, Sri Dingleberry Olson, Master Path. Oh man, you're going to have hell to pay. But he even says that no one's going to take your karma. You have to deal with it. And then the same, and you join the path right now, 90% karma dissolved. 90% of what you done, it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? I'll lift up my cross. Christ says something like that. Lift up your cross and follow me. I'm not in this pretentious, passive mode of spirituality where I think anyone's going to take care of me for that matter, let alone God. Okay? And it's a damn miracle that I'm still alive to this day. I don't know if my Father's looking out for me or if my soul, my true identity, is looking out for me. In those times where I heard a voice with no words telling me what to do in certain chaotic situations, where I scathed by, you know, amazingly. So I am blessed, you know. And a lot of people, you know, they watch my videos, be like, you know, what are you complaining about? You know what I mean? You got your land, you got a truck, you got you seem to be doing okay financially. You know what I mean? You got some okay looks, you know what I mean? People from the outside, and like I said, my fake friends, all they could say when my dad was dying was like, "Oh, I bet you're excited to get your dad's money and all of his stuff." What the fuck? And two of my so-called best friends said that. And they said, "I hope my parents give me something when they die." What the fuck is wrong with society and humanity? Where is the humanity? Oh, the humanity. I don't even give a fuck anymore. And, you know, enjoy that guitar I gave you, brother, that my dad gave me. Because I can't hold on to it. It's too much pain. It's kind of funny. Not really. But to someone who has no feelings, when you get passed on something from your parents, maybe you don't like your parents. And hey, I don't like my dad either, but I wish he was still here. But it's like a two-edged sword, right? One side, I'm mad at my dad because, you know, he's just having a party. He said several times, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Well, I hope you had a good fucking time, Dad. But yeah, Robert Fleming, kind of funny, man. He'd be like, I don't like all the cussing and this and that, right? Um, Cussing is nothing. If you look at the root cause of your so-called cuss words, they all developed pretty much in the East. You can go to India and find a street that's named Fuck Street, all right? And maybe it doesn't pronounce the same and it doesn't have the same definition, but it's America that gives the definition of a rainbow, right? From God. What's the new definition of a rainbow? Everyone knows. And I'm not putting it down. Is that culture appropriation? Spiritual appropriation? Um, but I'll be cussing till my last fucking breath. Because this world is a prison of false promises, false hope, false happiness. I wish it was different. Great quote by Kurt Cobain. I wish I was like you, easily amused. I'm the same way. Like I said earlier, like I'm 43, I feel like I've lived everything and I'm 80 or 90, right? And even my body feels like it fucking aches and pains and shit. But, you know, I've been through the trenches, got major heavy metal poisoning, uranium, mercury, lead when I was in my early 20s. Another time where I almost died. So it's amazing I'm not, there is no such thing as death. At least I know that. But I'm, everyone, if you're truly honest, you're not ready for death. No one is ready for death because you have no idea what's on the other side, let alone ready for life. You know what I mean? As a little kid, I was thinking, I'll just have this, it'll be better. I'll just have the right girl, friend, it'll be better, right? The truth is haunting. I guess it'll set you free, but it fucking hurts. And the truth is, you know, we're only here for a little while. And this is just a little, um, it is kind of like a game, but it's not some kind of, illusion either. I don't agree with that. The suffering is real. Sri Gary Olson Master Path, he had the audacity to say that no one died on 9/11, and to be like, grow up, and that's one of the things that woke me up to the fact that Sri Gary Olson Master Path, I was raised in this fucking dirty cult since a kid, um, subconsciously. But that's one thing. I started listening to my own intuition, and I'm not that smart at all. But I started thinking, what the fuck is this guy talking about? where America's doing the right thing all the time. You know what I mean? He said the founding, the presidents of America, they were all very spiritual, a lot of them. Anyone that has slaves is not spiritual. George Washington, why are we quoting quotes by George Washington? Brian over at High Impact Flicks, Disturbing Illusion, here's the deal. He's always quoting, in America and in America, Is anyone looking around? I mean, how do you feel in your heart? I feel sadness, despair every fucking moment. And America, another false fucking promise, right? Well, we're slowly becoming China. Just wait till they got the social credit score. You said something online, you get swatted by the cops, right? Or you go to the store, they're already tracking all your shit. I mean, wake up. They've been doing it for years, right? They love it. They love being a fucking weirdo, spy, creep. They love this debauchery, this perverted pedophiles and all this fucking bullshit. All right. Well, people are worried about cussing and shit like that. You know what I mean? Listen to Donald Trump. He doesn't use any cuss words. And he's over there bombing the fuck out of. Imagine how many. I got this puppy over here screaming in pain, trying to get better. Imagine the fucking chaos from a war. That's why alcohol is so popular. Because a lot of people just fucking, they're in denial of what's going on. And as long as we just stay in denial, we're fucked. But yeah, fucking Sri Gary Olson, Master Path. This is for the algorithm, and you're going to see that I mention you. You'll get the AI notification. You're not looking too good, buddy. Huh? That's why you keep posting old videos of you when you look semi-decent. This bullshit about Sri Gary Olson, Master Path, and all these spiritual leaders saying they're going to take your wrongdoings of evil and they're going to circumvent them through their body. I mean, I can't believe I believe this shit. And you're right, I'm an idiot. Nothing new for me. I've been fooled many times. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, all right, you won. You won. You won, Ray Hartwig. You destroyed my life. You won. And a lot of people are like, you need forgiveness. Forgiveness is for yourself. All right. Well, I've tried every fucking thing to get out of my depression. sadness. But when you're living in this kind of world that so many people deny and say is an illusion, a matrix, whatever makes you feel better. You know what I mean? The mind, um, the thoughts in our head, they're not ours. They're not ours all the time. And actually, I don't even think the truth comes through thoughts. We can have a fucking million thoughts. And that's why I just, I quit. I just started limiting my time. I can't even watch any movies anymore. See right through it. And that, I'm nothing special. And it's not fun to see right through stuff. It's not fun. Sri Gariel's and Master Path, he says, we were created for absolute joy. And what other reason would God create us for, right? You're fucking insane. And I'm insane too. But at least I'm not out there hurting anyone. Stealing. Pushing my bullshit beliefs on anyone. All right? It's just like Sri Gariel's and Master Path, fucking cult leader says, Sri Dingleberry. That's your new name. Everyone's at a different level, And he looks at most humanity as just puppets. But yeah, you're not looking too good, huh? And I'll tell you what, the truth is, these so-called spiritual leaders and all this bullshit, Donald Trump saying he's going to look it up. About 3-4 months ago, he sent those troops back over there to go bomb the shit out of children and animals. And who cares if they're innocent or not? We don't do that. I don't fucking approve of that. But yeah, you're not looking too good, huh, cult leader? All that extra time in the tanning bed like Donald Trump. You're trying to look you're trying to look like you're from India. Same with my mom. She gets so excited when people think she's Native American. She's so dark and her hair is so long, right? One time, one of the last times I spoke to my mom, I was growing my hair out. She's looking at me, right? And she's like, I don't really like your hair. Meanwhile, she's got hair all the way down her back. Beautiful hair, right? And maybe stupid, trite little thing to say, but it's the little things that kill. You know what I told her? I said, I don't really care. My girlfriend says the same thing. She wants to cut off my hair and my beard. You know what I mean? Do you live your life for yourself or someone else? There's my cuckoo clock. My dad had a cuckoo clock. I'm ready to bounce. I'm done. That's why my neighbor quit fucking with me, because, you know, he's been to prison, and he's a big macho guy, and, you guys can watch my videos, but he's tried a hand on him and never will, right? Knocking up my female dog. Now she's gone. I'm trying to take care of these puppies. A lot of people don't give a damn. That's all right. I mean, it's not all right, but, after a while, chaos feels comfortable. Because I got nothing to lose, I already told my neighbor, and the state police pointing guns at me for no reason. Well, shoot me then. You know what I mean? Just do it. Go ahead and shoot me then. And I ain't afraid of nothing. And that's the way we should be. But, I'm not proposing violence. Not in any means, but Stockholm syndrome is real. That's when you just accept the oppression. Dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery any fucking day. It's like a dog, you know what I mean? You got all these people that have domesticated animals. Do you think horses like that? You think wild horses appreciate you riding them around and shit, pumping them with hormones? Would you want that? What is this differentiation we make between one life form and another? One is sacred, the other isn't, right? Some countries, they eat dogs. Over here, we treat them like babies a lot of times. We got to tie them up, right? Put them in a cage. I'll never do that. I rescued one dog that almost got ran over the highway after I lost this other dog, and you guys can check my videos. His name was Messiah, blue heeler. I was trying to protect him, right? And I finally realized, like, I can't tie him up anymore. I would tie him up, during the day. I was so afraid of him getting hit. And a lot of people would say I'm a bad person. I'm a bad dog owner, animal owner. And I'm not talking about, you have crazy violent dogs, you just let them run around. But I don't have any crazy violent dogs over here. And even if a dog was violent to me, and I've had it in the past, I'm still not going to I'm not going to return violence with violence to, dogs are like kids. It's actually pretty sacred. A lot of animals, they have that childlike aura. vibration. Um, and I was talking about, I feel like I'm 80 or something. I also feel like I'm a little kid. Christ said we have to, something about, we have to approach Christ through the childlike state. And their pure wonder and amazement and promise of the world in America, too, huh? But most people, from my trite, nobody viewpoint, a lot of people just act like robots. And like I said earlier, I'd rather feel the worst of despair than not at all. And I'm cursed. I don't know. What's amazing is and like I said, if you can just stay sober, and just you can meditate, the pineal gland pumps out more DMT. It's a DMT factory, and DMT is the strongest, um, or one of the strongest, very top, probably the strongest, if you want to call it a drug. But it's a molecule compound, so we don't need anything. So, um, that's what I'm trying to return to. Get in a good, clean meditation, just a little bit of coffee in the morning instead of waking up and I'm just hitting the dabs and taking some kratom and all this. That's what I'm thriving for. Magic truffles, huh? You know what amazes me, not in a hyper way, but all these people saying that psilocybin cubensis, the magic truffles, they cured their depression. The DMT cured their depression. 5-MeO DMT cured their depression. I don't know what I'm missing because I've been micro, macro, chomping down on the fungus, the magic fungus, for over a year now. I'm trying to find the silver lining. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's so much beauty and life in the world, but the way the system, as above, so below, I mean, hey, I'm open for discussion, but anyone that can give me a viable, concrete. I'll give you one instance. I got a little puppy that's been having constant seizures, foaming at the mouth. He's still alive. He's still with us over here on this plane. And I've been feeding him with a bottle. Poor guy is in crazy pain. Now, you want to tell me what kind of system, what kind of life force creates life to make it suffer? Now, Sri Gary Olson, Master Path, my mom, my little brother, a lot of Eastern teachings, Vedic, Upanishads, Buddha, but I mean, and they say, oh, well, this is your karma, right? So in your explanation of karma, this little puppy, we have to go through 8 million different life forms, starting in the mineral state, starting as an atom. We were a rock. We lived under a rock. We were dirt. We were the air. We go through all these life forms, and then finally we can be in a human body. Now you tell me what kind of God, creator, would do that? And you can imagine you're devouring life, you're being devoured by life. Imagine how much trauma you can experience if you first started out as a molecule, all the way from a rock to an insect, arachnids, so forth, birds. I don't think that's true at all. And I don't accept that. I don't accept that this little puppy, you know, through your this explanation, you'd have your brain wiped, right? After each death. And so this little puppy is going through suffering and all this and has no recollection of what it did wrong to have that, right? Same with me as a child, you know, wondering why I was getting beat with a 3-foot stick. That's just one instance. So it's from past lives, right? I did something bad and now I have to come back here and repay the price. And I have no, you know, so I don't even learn the lesson. I just get the punishment. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, it doesn't even matter. I'm just rambling on. No one gives a damn. There ain't no one in the chat anyway. Good luck, everyone. God bless.